too bad either. Okay. So now if we look at the death rates, which category have we underlined more things in? Okay. So we've underlined more categories and our death rates go down. Okay. So that's good. That means the rate at which our people are passing away is slower. Okay. Lloyd, do you have a question?
Yeah, again, I'm gonna go to a different room. Again, like yesterday.
Yeah, that's fine.
What about death and childbirth?
So we did that one. You were a little bit late for the lesson, and I had already did that one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So you can flip back there through the notes, and you'll be able to see the same thing. Okay.
Okay.
The notes will be there. So they're posted Unit 3, Lesson 1. Okay. But it's
Okay.
all kind of the same thing. Okay. You're paying attention to healthcare, how much it costs to live somewhere. Um, looking at your population and their education, things like that.
I'll check that.
Okay. All right. So we said that our birth rates in Ottawa might not be changing that much, right? But our death rates are probably on the lower end, which means that we still have a chance that our population is increasing. Okay. So that's good. All right. So thinking about demography, okay, what did the IR stand for yesterday? Okay, so what does IR stand for in what we talked about yesterday? Dante?
So IR stands for um not sure.
That's okay if you don't know. Ahmed?
I think IR stands for the increase of
Increase.
So what did IR stand for?
I think IR stands for like the increased rate of like how much the inflation is going.
Okay, so not about inflation. The R does stand for rate, but we're talking about immigration rate.
Oh, it's talking.
So immigration rate. IR stands for immigration rate. Okay, so that's
Okay.
how many people are coming to a country are moving to a country to live. Okay. Let's see here. Can I delete them? Oop. There we go. All right. So what factors? So why would a person leave their country and move to another country? That's weird. So why would Dante have an idea for that one?
So I have an idea for that one. If people like move to a new country, their homes would get like they need to find new jobs and like
Okay.
their-
Yeah. So stop there because that part's right. Jobs is absolutely a reason that a person might leave a country and move to another country. Okay. So jobs is a big one. When I was a little bit younger, uh, there were not a lot of teaching jobs on Prince Edward Island. So I moved to England for a year to work there to get some experience, okay, to earn some money. Okay. And then I moved back home to Prince Edward Island. Okay. So I left PEI to go get work. Okay. So that's one reason that a person might leave a place is to go get work. Okay. Ahmed, what's another reason that a person might leave a country and move to another country?
Another reason is because of inflation and the rising of the prices.
So the cost, that's called the cost of living. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
the cost, if cost of living is too high in a place, they might move somewhere else. Okay. Good. Okay. So that's what I want you guys thinking about. Okay. So why would someone leave a country and move to one country or move to another country? What types of things will factor that? Okay. All right. Okay. So this is just an example of a calculation that you could do for the natural increase of a population. Okay. So what you're looking at is this is imaginary country, right? It says imaginary. It has a population of 14 million people. Okay. So the increase, you have to know what the birth rate is. You have to know what the death rate is. Okay. And then you have to do the calculation. So the birth rate is 5.6 people for every 1,000. The death rate is 2.2 people per 1,000. Okay. So the natural increase, okay, the natural increase rate is 5.6. So 5.6 subtract 2.2. Okay. So 5.6 subtract 2.2, which is 3.4. Okay, so the calculations are quite simple if you're given the numbers. Okay, if the birth rate is 5.6 and the death rate is 2.2, you subtract those two numbers and that gives you what's called the natural increase rate. So that is, when they say natural, they mean like natural cause to a natural change to your population. So a natural increase is by a person being born, a natural decrease is by a person dying. Okay. Now we also have to look at migration as a way to know what our population is. Okay. So how many people are moving to your country? So in this case, it's 10.2 per thousand. That's the rate. The immigration rate, this is how many people are leaving. Okay. So 3.7 for every 1,000 people. So the net migration would be 10.2. So 10.2 subtract 3.7. Okay, so 10.2 subtract 3.7 is 6.5. Okay. All right, so that's the rate for 1,000. Okay. So now how you get that number, I just have to check the math myself that I've done it right. But if you take 3.4 and multiply it by 14 million. Sure. All right, so 14 million multiplied by 3.4 and then divided by 1,000. Okay, that's where you get the 47,600. Okay, so if you take, so this is your original population. Okay, so if you take the 3.14 increase and divide it by 1,000 and then multiply it by the 14 million. Okay, so this number up here, then you'll get, that's where the 47,600 people comes from. Okay, that's how many people were naturally, that was the natural increase in your population. Okay, the net migration, it's the same thing. It's 6.5 divided by 1,000 multiplied by 14 million. That's where the 91,000 came from. If you add this value and this value, then your population growth is 138,000. 38,600. Okay, and the 9.9 is just the just the addition of the different rates. So it's just the addition of this rate plus this rate would equal this rate. Okay, so the math is simple. Like we'll do some practice when I'm back in person. Okay, but the math is not too difficult, which is good. All right. So I forget when the stat is from. I don't remember if it's still true or not. Okay, but at the time that this was made, uh, then Qatar has the world's highest number. So the number of immigrants minus the number of immigrants, the net migration was 14.6 for every 1,000, which is quite high. Um, Lebanon at the time that this was done had the lowest. Okay, so they were losing 20.3 people for every 1,000 people. Okay, so their net migration rate was really low. Okay, it was in the negatives, meaning they were losing lots of people. All right, so now we talked a little bit about distributions yesterday, and Ahmed got that one started for us. So, population distribution is the way that people are spread out. Okay, so again, at asked a lot, our population is distributed into different classrooms. Okay, so grade 9 students are distributed into the blue dot room. The grade 10s are distributed into the pink dot room. Okay. Grade 11s are over in the purple dot, and the grade 12s aren't even there yet. Okay, so they'll be there later. Now, there's different types of population distribution. So the diagram that's on the board right now is a uniform or regular distribution. Okay, so that's an evenly dispersed population. Frequency is even throughout. So an example, a full hotel, apartment, or dorm with units of equal size. Okay, so if you think of an apartment building, okay, an apartment building has many different apartments in it. Often the apartments are, pretty similar in size, and they're distributed, evenly across the different floors in the hotel. That would be a uniform distribution. In our classroom, we don't have it exactly uniform, but if you think about it, we have different rows in the classroom. If everybody was at kind of a similar table and there was one person at each table, okay, our population would be uniform. Okay? So uniform means that it's just distributed in kind of a regular fashion. So it's evenly dispersed. The frequency is even throughout. An example, again, a full hotel, apartment, or dorm with units of equal size. All right. So now our population could be random or irregular distribution. So yeah, it's there, right? Yeah. So an unevenly dispersed population. The frequency varies throughout. The example: half full hotel, pedestrians on the sidewalk, the impact of raindrops in a storm. Okay, something that's a little bit more random and irregular. There's also clustered or aggregated distributions. So an unevenly dispersed population grouped together. Frequency varies between very dense and very sparse. So the population of Canada People at a mall or cafeteria.